afternoon, my MPP peeps. Pretty much a snoozer today. It wasn't much movement. Look at that candle. I mean, it's pretty tiny, but we remain above the 10 SMA. We closed again above this 336.65. So, even though we're not blasting off, this still isn't bearish. We're still above that 10 SMA. As long as we remain above the 10 SMA, these next two targets are possibilities. When this 10 SMA breaks, I'm taking these possibilities off the table, and we'll start looking at retrace, pullback, retrace targets. All right, whenever we hit the top. Right now, let's say today was the top, I'd be looking at first target of 33.21 and then possibly 31.05. But there's really no sense in talking about these bearish targets yet until we break down, okay, until we lose this 10 SMA. So we'll just keep monitoring it each and every day. It is tough right now playing breakouts. You guys know we're in like Apple, CMG, Amazon, Netflix. Even those names are starting to break out. It's hard for breakouts to be sustained when the market is this overbought. So we're seeing that now. We're seeing new money not coming in as quickly as it was when we were down here. All right, it's going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to have to be a little more patient with our plays, with our new trades, because these breakouts are not going to rocket up. We're not oversold anymore. We're overbought. And so we're going to have to wait for the market to melt up. Okay, if we're going to make money on these trades, we're going to have to wait for it to melt up into this 37.45, 38.22. Now, if there is some sort of stimulus news, I think that could be your giant spike. But we need something like that to get a spike. If we don't, it's going to be either a pullback or a slow melt up. And right now I'm betting on the melt up. As long as the 10 SMA holds, that's my bet. The Qs, same thing. Not much movement today, but it's still well above the 10 SMA, still bull flagging at all-time highs. So nothing to be bearish about yet. This is just bullish consolidation. And as long as the 10 SMA holds, this is bullish consolidation before the next wave up to 316, 330. So nothing to get too bearish about yet. And again, when the 10 SMA breaks, that's when we'll start drawing retrace targets. But we don't have to worry about that yet till that 10 SMA breaks. And look at the VIX. I mean, the VIX, even though it was a little green today, still in the low 20s. All right, no fear in this market yet. When this VIX spikes, if we do see a spike in this VIX, then we'll need to start getting a little concerned that, maybe the market senses something and the bulls are ready to sell. Okay, but right now I don't get any sense of that right now. Let's look at our names that we own. Apple, I mean, it's still at this 0.618 retrace, and that retrace is from this high to this low. It tested it here back in October, and we're retesting it here, which means if it can break out, I mean, we could have a pretty nice run up. Just needs to break this 124 level, 125, and if it does, I mean, this thing could scream higher. So, 130, we break 125, I think 130 is a given, and that's where I'll take half. And then if the Qs are going to continue to that 316, 330 target, it's very possible Apple could reach this 150, 158. So I still like Apple. We're still above the 10 SMA. Even though it's a slow mover and it's frustrating, it's testing our patience, there's no reason to exit the trade yet. Amazon, another one that's definitely frustrating. Having a really hard time with this downtrend line. But again, if it busts out and we head higher, this one could scream higher too. So I'm looking for this 3305, 34. I'd rather see 3400 to take half off. But, you know, if we get stopped out, the 10 SMA isn't too far away, 3159. Big whoop, little loss, and we move on to the next trade. But the odds are favoring Amazon to the upside. CMG holding the 10 SMA, so we remain in and, you know, still battling this downtrend line. But again, just like Apple and Amazon, been consolidating forever. If it decides to bust loose, this thing could scream higher fast. Okay, and 1500 remains my target. And then Netflix, still above the 10 SMA, but a slow mover. Okay, these breakouts are, you know, taking some time. So we need to give them room. We need to give them patience. And we get stopped out. No big whoop. We move on to the next trade. But still, just like all those other ones I went over, odds favor higher in Netflix. Okay, odds favor the higher. I'm looking at 530 to take half off. So we're still in those names. I'm really, you know, I'm not looking at too many new ones. Are not just got an AMD today. He's looking for, I think, 100. So, and that was my target. So he's playing this pullback, and it's hit a retrace that he likes, and he's going for this 100, 104. Very doable, very doable if this market, you know, gets some buying underneath it and we start moving up. But AMD is still bullish. So I think it's a good buy and worth the risk, because, you know, your downside is to 88.58, and then your upside is to 104. So decent risk reward. And then, you know, he's in Tesla too. I mean, this Tesla's taken off since he bought it yesterday down here, and it gapped up. Got a Goldman Sachs upgrade and gapped up, heading back up to the 609. I think he's looking for 650. So, you know, another great trade by him. And one name I was looking at, this VLDR. It is in the autonomous driving space. Getting a ton of call buying. A new issue, and right, well, I guess not a new issue, but it's been trading a while, but a penny stock for a long time, and then has been spiking as of late. And right at its 200 SMA. So it's pretty, as far as like a growth system play, I'm interested in it. So if it closes above the 200 SMA on Friday, I'm thinking about dropping an eighth of a position on this to target, you know, all-time highs, possibly 40 or 50. But you know, there was some players today putting down some serious coin, and since it's so close to this 200 SMA, the risk reward is pretty darn good. So a name that I'm considering for tomorrow, at close tomorrow, if it closes above the 200 SMA. You know, and our growth system names, a lot of them are looking pretty good. Shack. You guys see Shack today? Or any of you guys in Shack? Dan, Suma, you guys in Shack? Anna, you in Shack? This thing's stellar. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this move. Great growth system name. Heading to our, I think our first target is 90. So we're almost there. We're almost there. And some other names. Let me look. We got some really good names on the hook. The space continues to look good. Look at this space heading to its first target of 30. Looks really good. This Uber continues to look good. So, I mean, look at this. It's just been continuing higher. 10 SMA, 200 SMA, 530. 530 to 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 So a lot of great looking names. CGC too, guys. CGC starting to break out once again. So a lot of these names. Oh yeah, Dan. CAE. CAE. This is a Dan special right here. And look at this thing. Since we bought it, been looking really good and about to break, trying to break out and head higher. So a nice dip opportunity. You know, this might be an ad. This might be an ad opportunity on Friday. So I'll be looking. Yeah, I'm gonna look at these growth system names on Friday because you know we got some really nice winners that could continue to win. So I might be looking to add to those winners. So that'll be my focus tomorrow. More of the growth system. You know, the dip buying system. I have my plays: Apple, Netflix, CMG, and Amazon. You know, I really don't want to go too much deeper in the dip buying system because, as you can see, there isn't much of a dip to buy, guys. Okay, this is not a dip. So I would rather wait for an actual dip to really get involved in the dip buying system. But that's all I have. Let's look at the Bitcoin before we go. Man, this thing did not stay long at 16,000. And this was all weekend movement. So I was thinking about jump back in the GBTC down here, but this is all weekend movement. And, you know, we pretty much opened Monday at 19,000. So the move happened over the weekend, unfortunately. So I'm just going to continue to wait until we actually get a pullback that I can buy. And I still think Bitcoin's going much, much higher, but would rather wait for some sort of pullback to get a better price. Any questions, guys? Anything you want me to go over? Any names? Cool. Anna, you got anything? Suma, you got anything? Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, I will see you guys in the morning. I think I will have a stretch tomorrow morning since jobs numbers come out tomorrow. NFP, non-farm payroll, comes out tomorrow. Could move the markets. So I will be up, and we'll look at the reaction together. Oh, Anna's got something. NNOX. NNOX. Huh. New issue, huh? Nano X imaging. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is the 10 SMA. You got a nice little bull flag here. Let's draw a line, just a trend line. So you got this. You got this trend line developing. You know, tomorrow, if you can start creeping above, if you draw this right here, if this thing has bottomed, let's look at a 1.618. All right, it's on there. Wow. If this thing has bottomed, all right, this is a new issue. So these new issues are always hard to judge because there's not a lot of price history. But if this thing breaks out and heads past this, what looks like resistance at around 67, okay, you got 67 here on this high, and then you got 69 here. So if you bust out of this, you bust out of this downtrend line right here and get in around 67, and it starts moving up, it's starting to prove itself. You know, this thing you could target 94. All right, and that's a decent risk reward because this 10 SMA is at 50. So you get in at 67, you got what is it, $17 of risk, but look at all this reward. You know, nearly $30 of reward. So it's a decent setup here, but you know, you definitely need some volume to come in to push this thing past this 67, 69 level. Cool. But if you're going to go in, since this is a new issue, I wouldn't go in a full position. All right. This does look pretty volatile. I mean, just in the last 2 months, it's doubled. So it's very volatile stock. So if you go in, I would reduce your position size. All right. Is that it, guys? Cool. I will talk to you in the morning. Until then, don't trade for thrills. Just consistently make those dollar bills. See you guys.